Hello friends, welcome to your lordships. Today we are going to discuss about a bill that is about to replace a 117-year-old law. The Registration Act of 1908 is now to be replaced by the new Registration Act of 2025. इस बिल का मकसद यह है कि कॉमन मैन और बिजनेसेस के लिए रजिस्ट्रेशन के प्रोसेस को सेफ, फास्ट और सिटीजन सेंट्रिक बनाया जाए। चलिए डिस्कस करते हैं इस बिल के की फीचर्स। द बिल is designed to bring land and property registration into the digital age, making the system faster, safer, and simpler for people and businesses alike. Now the question arises as to why a new law was required on this subject. So discussing the historical context, the Registration Act was enacted in the year 1908. This was the time when the documents were basically written by hand. And most of the land records which were there, they were kept in the physical files. With the passage of time, there has been an increase in the reliance of registered documents in both public and private transactions. Gradually, as the society has evolved, there has been increase in the demand of online services. And the businesses require fast and reliable records, and most importantly, the technology can help reduce the fraud that is happening at a frequent stage and also streamline the process of registration. As we already know that registration of deeds and documents is basically a subject which is mentioned in the concurrent list of the 7th schedule to our constitution, meaning thereby both the state and the center is empowered to legislate upon the subject of registration of deeds and documents. Keeping this in mind, through time, various states and union territories had introduced various amendments to the Registration Act by which they had enabled online document submission and also digital identity verification. However, if we see the process, if we see the picture in its entirety, there was no uniformity that was present surrounding the digitalization and online processes regarding the process of registration. Since there was no uniformity, a need was felt that keeping in view the evolving social and technological developments, a new law should be drafted. Currently, if we notice that the bill is at the public consultation stage and the government has invited suggestions from the public until 25th of June 2025. Now we'll discuss the main features of the bill. Firstly, the bill facilitates online registration. It expands the scope of mandatory registration under the Registration Act. It reinforces legal and procedural rigor. It introduces institutional strengthening. And the citizen-centric processes have been incorporated under the new law. We'll discuss these 5 features in detail. Firstly, we'll talk about facilitating online registration. In this context, the bill introduces enabling provisions in order to support the online registration, and that will include the online submission and also the admission of documents. Then we have issuance of electronic signature certificates, electronic registration certificates, then electronic maintenance of the registration records, And most importantly, the Aadhaar based authentication is also made available with an alternative, meaning thereby if a person is not having the Aadhaar, then alternative mode is also available to that person. Aadhaar based authentication with informed consent is permitted under the new law alongside alternative verification mechanism for individuals who do not possess Aadhaar. The bill expands the scope of compulsory registration. Section 12, which lays down what the list of documents are there, which are compulsorily registrable. The list of documents which are given under Section 12 has been expanded. It will now include the agreement to sell, the powers of attorney, the sale certificates, equitable mortgage arrangements, and also those documents which are based on the decisions of the court. The bill seeks to reinforce the legal and procedural rigor by ensuring that there are clear and objective grounds on the basis of which the registering officer can refuse the registration of a particular document. And the bill also enables the appropriate government to frame guidelines for cancellation of registration. And these cancellation of registration, the guidelines surrounding them have to be followed the principles of natural justice. Meaning thereby, the bill incorporates the principles of natural justice in administering the regulatory provisions under the proposed act. The bill primarily goes on with the intention which upholds the reliability of the registered documents in the legal context. The bill focuses on institutional strengthening and governance reforms. The bill introduces new roles under the prevalent scheme. It modernizes the organizational structure of the registration establishment and creates new roles in the form of Additional Inspector General of Registration and Assistant Inspector General of Registration. It streamlines the appointment process of the registrar and vests the rule-making power in the appropriate government. Citizen-centric measures have been introduced through this bill, wherein it has been focused that this act is drafted in a plain language, wherein common man is able to understand the crux, the requirements, the eligibility of a particular provision. The bill focuses on digital enablement, technology solutions, legal certainty by maintaining procedural safeguards, and also the transparent procedures which focuses on clear visibility into the registration processes. If we see the future impact of the bill, once enacted, the bill will be a cornerstone reform supporting India's ambition to improve its business environment in digital governance. An important announcement for students appearing in judicial services exam. Currently, Your Lordship is now running with a unique initiative on YouTube wherein revision through MCQs will be done. Here in this initiative, you can revise your core subjects and minor subjects through MCQs. Please stay connected to us. Do like, share, and subscribe our channel. Thank you.